It was muted. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me reiterate what I just said. I need to get a background that looks like this, but with Linus Torvalds instead, okay? It's gonna replace this one, okay? If somebody makes that for me, I'll use it in a video, and I'll put your name into... I'll put a thing for into the viewer text file. So, yeah, just let me know if you do that, and send it to me on, like, Discord or something. I don't know. Anyway. I am working on the project of all time, and I got it to work. You know what's really cringe is when you use one class constructor to do all of your code. So I have my void main entry point, and then I do auto do thing equals new do thing, and it just uses the default constructor, which in turn imports core.runtime, and then uses this takes this .args from runtime.args, and just don't worry about this enumeration. I'm probably gonna make this a global thing because I don't really think. I mean, it's fine to put it in here, but like, also you don't really want to put it in there because obviously that's gonna basically be the same as having it globally declared. So yeah, there's a couple implications with this. Probably gonna scope guard this, honestly, because you're only gonna need that for so long before it's just not something you need. Anyway, continuing down, we have dothing.supporter, and we're gonna use the enumeration for this .args, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, actually. Enum this .args of 0, and that should just give us our runtime, or whatever the fuck it's called. That's the enumeration. Okay, so enumeration is going to allow us to basically put supporters or dlang and give us a path from there, and then pass that to the supporter handler, which is going to change to do thing. I don't know, like fun fact. I don't know. It's not really a fun fact. I mean, I don't know. I guess fun facts. Yeah, or no fact. Just call it fact. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's a good name. I feel like naming shit's probably the hardest thing I struggle with, bro. But that just means I'm a fucking genius in disguise. Anyway, that takes string path, and instead of doing that, we're just going to use the enumeration and put that in there instead. So I should be able to use... Is that how enumeration works? Bro, I need to read the dlang guide on enumeration. We're using Tor today. Brave browser is gonna kill me inside. Oh god. Delaying documentation. Beautiful. This is gonna get us to where we need to be. Oh, I didn't check the microphone. Did I check the microphone? Hello? Microphone good, right? Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. That's good. Nice. Thank you, me. What? Where's my documentation, bro? Try cleaning it up. Restart the Tor browser. Please take me to the DLang documentation at this time. Thank you. Sorry. Um, Sometimes I get the Chud theme song stuck in my head because my brain is fry. Library reference. We're gonna go to the library reference and we're gonna do find something. Enumeration, right? Let's just look up enumeration because I have no clue what I'm doing. Coolio. Enum. What? Whoa, Google, bro. Our systems have detected unusual traffic from your network. I'm not letting my computer get backdoored by Google. A bunch of amateurs. Me, I am less than amateur. Wow. Everybody likes LLVM toolchain, except nobody does, but I do. I'm a big fan of LLVM toolchain, actually. Fuck you, VS Code. Fuck you, Windows. I mean, Winblows. CentOS? Is CentOS pretty cool? What do you guys think of CentOS? Tell me. Third-party downloads. Oh. You're saying my Arch Linux is not the same as regular D-Lang? Snap. Snapticated. OpenBSD. For weirdos who want closed BSD. Guys. It should just be one of the standard ones, though. You know what? Just type in enumeration. Wow, nice. Oh my god, I can't read it because it says Ubuntu make your life suck in the background, bro. I'm getting fucking lost in this. Bro, Linus Torvalds is watching us from the background, telling Nvidia to go fuck themselves. And, man, the Ubuntu make my life suck is really doing it for me right now. Enum Thu. Thu in it. Thu in it. Oh wow. Enum identifier, enum body. Okay. Can you do enum identifier colon? Anonymous base declaration? Enum colon enum base type. Anon. Bro. What the hell? Oi, stop falling asleep, bro. We have works to do. And that work does not involve Ubuntu. Foo. Here we have enum E, where E is what? I guess expression. Please explain it this time. Foo.e. Oh. Enum foo and then E. So like if... Okay. Enum E is car. A comma B equals car.max. C and then overflow. Interesting. Static assert E dot A. Ah, so that's the name. And then the dot is just whatever is under it. But we know that there's multiple potential values that come in from our this.args. Bro, enumeration is one of the things that always gets me, bro. Anyway, and I guess I've declared it as anonymous type somehow. But this .args should enum, right? So here we have enum A equals 3, enum B, enum C. Those are like a bunch of different enums. Enum E colon C. See, we want a different name for the main thing, and then different states of it. So if I, for example, had anonymous enums, if the enum identifier is not present, the enum is an anonymous enum, and the enum members are declared in a scope. Enum ABC, enum long, enum string. Oh, hold on. So we want an anonymous enumeration, and sets A equals 3, B equals 4. Maybe we don't want that. No, I think I'm wrong. I think I'm just confused because I've used enum before. What does the docs say? When you have any kind of doubt, you just gotta consult your documentation. Or what is his name? What does Ali say? What is his documentation? I cannot say his last name. I apologize at this time. Because that's I should be better. Anyway. Wow. Programming in D. Control F. Let's find enumeration. Enum? He doesn't... K Seriosa? What? Ah, here we go. So that's the name. And that's a switch with that. But he uses enumeration on which one? Okay, where's the fucking enumeration? Enum. Elon where, bro? I like how it opens a second web browser, makes my shit really lag. Wow. 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 Noise. Enum operation. The enum type operation. Oh. You need to do an equals. Okay. So equals. And then your switch has to be defined based off of that. Very good. Good job, Mr. Freeman. Thanks. Today I've become enum, the enumerator of worlds. Thank you, enumeration. Thank you, enumeration, for helping out this video. Anyway, this is completely wrong. What? And that is simply just have to call it as a simple mode. I don't know. We're gonna put this places. We gotta think of a good name. Maybe our supporters, our deal path. Yeah, path. Just call it path. What it fucking is. Path. Do you think fact is gonna use the path dot whatever? The thing is that I'm kind of confused on how you would use this. Would you just use, in place of How would you get runtime.args as path? I think the first thing you do is you make a block of code that does a bunch of if statements. It says need to see more examples. Delaying enum examples, bro. Let's see. Yeah, Ubuntu make my life suck, bro. Alias enum members. Online tutorials library. Let's see what they got. What are they cooking on tutorialspoint.com? My high-speed web browsers routing traffic through the Tor network. Oh, days. And then days equals days.mon. Or day equals day. What? What? I'm confused. So what is days.mon? Where's your full code, bro? Come on. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that you can just set that equals something else. So you create your enum days. And then day equals day.mon. But days day. So you create your enum. And then you do days.mon. Oh, Monday. Wow, that's great. But then how? Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe you would use enum days. Bro, I don't know why enumeration always just eats my fucking brain cells. Like every time I go ahead and do that. Anonymous. Pseudo Brackman SYU. Oh, so that just means you can just write them down. Anon. Oh, get me out of that website. What the hell? Extension, no. Sudo block that request. They're gonna backdoor my network if I let them do that. Anyway, we might want to anonymously enumerate. And to do that, you would just put something like this, I guess, and then put a colon string. Yeah. We'll just fucking wing it. Colon string. And then we'll probably put a write line since I don't really know if it's gonna work. And that's gonna write ln and put our it's gonna put our interesting stuff going on, which is gonna be runtime.args. Not runtime.args. It's gonna be this.args. This.args. And then 1. What? 0. I'm really confused right now. I just saw something that really confuses me, but I'm not going to say what it is because that information's very interesting and quite weird at the same time. It's like there's almost nobody watching, but it still says the average view duration is 22 minutes. And so that leads me to believe some suspicion of interesting thing. No, take me to the Arch Linux page. Yeah. Auto mode extreme. Pseudo Blackman, that's why you. DMD Jester.d. What? DMD Jester.d. Okay, let's see what it says. What do you say, Mr. Freeman? When expecting semicolon, found semicolon, when expecting comma. Thank you very much. Bro, I don't know if I'm a fan of enumeration. It sounds pretty lame. Actually, you know, it really doesn't change anything. Because it just doesn't. So, what? I might pull up an example. What am I doing? I'm working on a pretty cool tool. It's going to be able to read names out of a file. It's going to randomly select an index and then start from the end and take 20 lines and just print them out. It's going to be some really cool stuff. But me, I don't use enumeration or like anything that's cool. So I got to check one of my references, one of my old reference codes I wrote with enumeration. Because I'm really quite confused on what I'm doing with enumeration at this time. Because it's kind of lame. I think enumeration is kind of lame. But also, I want my code to look prettier. And this .args is fucking disgusting to me. Is that Rust? No. Why would I use Rust? Bro, Jody Brucon says Rust bad. And I listened to Jody. He says Rust is bad. So. It's D-Lang, by the way. Anyway. I'm just referencing some other data. It should be my calculator example. I should have one that's just called calc. Perfect. Let me see what it said. Oh my god, this code killing me. So it's got a switch called operation. Oh. You know where enumeration is just amazing? So enumeration is great when you'd have to write a name out for what it is, and so you'd create your enumeration, right? And it'd be like enumeration path, and this actually doesn't go here. Okay, so we pass this off to the function, or the method, in this case, and it's gonna take care of that for us, so just slapticate that in there. Probably not here, though. Also, we really don't need to get all of that. We've already done the file.get length, but we're gonna do it differently because we want to have all of the lines. So we'll probably call a different thread that takes all of the lines of the file and then just does all of the counting lines while the main thread does other initialization things. And hopefully it syncs well enough that it ends up... no, we could just have both tasks be handled in two separate threads and then have... who cares? Well, we could just do all in one thread and just be like, fuck it. And just go slow. go lame-o mode. Lamau mode. That's what we're gonna do. Yes, Lamau mode. What a great thing. Anyway, so it's gonna write the line for the file size to start off. That way I have that kind of initialized. This will just be here. In void fact, do thing fact. Then we have our path. See, the thing I like about enumeration is that it allows you to put dots between stuff, which I think is really cool. but at the same time, I've never really used it that much. So I really don't know how useful that is. Anyway, we'd have like a case, and it'd be like, alright, case. And the case is simple. It's just gonna be like, or no, we'd do a switch. That's what we did yesterday too, but we did the switch in here. But here we're gonna do a switch in the void fact, and it's just gonna basically change which thing is going in. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna take the name of our thingamajig and shove the data into here. For example, path. But this is now shadowing path, so it has to be the or real path, or like underscore path, or like path. And then instead this will be file. And then that makes more sense, right? File and path. And then we're just enumerating the path so that the paths can go into here, which makes it really easy to maintain. And then all of this can be my actual cases. So I can do case, and then I can do literally just path dot boom. And then also, if path does not exist, or like if there is no path, don't work. That's what we'll do. The default will just be throw an exception if it does not work. Let it crash. And then we'll just put a colon after that. Put our paths, delaying, supporters. And that's how it's done, because that makes it look really pretty. Basically, enumeration allows you to match up the actual data with a different name. So that's literally all it is. I mean, there's a few other usages for it, but obviously it's not the most useful thing of all time. Or it's not really a feature I really use that much. I'm sure a lot of people use it more than I do, especially people who know more than I do, so if enumeration has changed your life, then let me know. But really, for me, I don't really think it's had much impact. But I guess now it has, because I had to relearn. So congratulations to me for not using enumeration ever, I guess. Write ln, and then just put no path. Technically, I could put another one, and we could call it fail, and fail can equal another string. For example, no path, or no arguments, or yeah, no path provided. Or no arguments. Why not? I can't write, bro. I'm the worst writer. No arguments provided. Alright, that's good. And then just do that. Alright, so then we can just, instead of doing this, I can put file dot, or path.fail. Although I feel like, doesn't this, technically this is like a constant, or like, enumeration is like immutable almost, so it's like, once this is in existence, it's in memory, isn't it? I don't like to put strings in memory because they use a lot of memory, because of how they work, each letter being a byte, so, I mean, I guess the more bytes you put into memory, the more letters you have, the more bytes you put into memory, so, I'm not exactly entirely sure on that. I haven't really done much research into how that entirely works. Anyway, so yeah, now we can just use path.supporters, and that will be how we can use our file paths now. And then the case will be break. So just like in a loop, where if you are in a loop, you just can throw a break. Now, break will work here because we're not in a loop. So because we're not in a loop, we don't need to return to the lower level of the loop to continue doing iterations. We can just throw break. I think that will be fine. Because well, anything that goes in this body of the case will be just executing code. Now, the problem is that anything we do in this one or this one, probably going to be the same stuff, although this one we know is going to be shorter, and it's for the supporters text file, which if I open, you'll see is pretty short. Viewer. And this was from a viewer yesterday, so... Well, a supporter yesterday, so that's kind of different. Big difference. Anyway. And so this is what you type into the args, and then this is what it will do. And for now, we're just going to put write ln for path.supporters. And then we'll just check that these are actually working. Oh my gosh. Path.delang. Delang. Boom. So this is going to take excerpts of the Delang Bible, and this one's going to take excerpts of any supporter messages I get and stuff. And then, yeah, pretty much all that is. For now, the default is path.fail, by the way. Oh, yes. Let's go back to here. Let's go ahead and dmd jester.d. Found sudo when expecting... What the fuck is sudo? Sudo? What the hell is this? When expecting parentheses. What is dealing? It's the deprogramming language. Where did it find this at? Hold on. Let me use my eyeballs. Line 13. Sudo. Bro, why did I type in sudo? When did I type that in? That must have been yesterday. I must have been like fucking tired as hell working on this. Unidentified identifier paths. How's that unidentified identifier? It's literally inside of the code. Hold on, let me check. Path.supporters. Maybe it needs me to capitalize my enumeration like a real enumeration enjoyer. I'm gonna enum so hard this stream. I haven't really used enum that much, but wow. Now it's got capital paths. Oh, really? Oh, wait, you know what it is? Let me hit Control-Z a few times. That? No, that's not a thing that exists. File. Boom. Write ln file size, which is get size file. And it's just the name of the thing that args0 holds in the constructor, which gets passed off to this thing, which is weird, but it keeps my constructor from looking like absolute complete baloney and garbage, although it still looks like fucking garbage, because then I have to have this giant block of fucking garbage right here. Some would call this bloat, but me, I call this incompetency. Ah, good. Wow. Index 0 is out of bounds for array length of 0. Because I didn't provide anything. Here's something we need to do is add exception handling for stuff like that. Delang. Delang, no such file or directory. What? What is this? Hold on, let me check. File.file exception, user include delang, file, dealing, no such. What was the path again? Oh, you know, it probably was, you know what I'm doing wrong right now? The enumeration should come first, and then we just convert the file into the path, and then that's how that should be. Tab, tab, tab. Instead, we should put it down here instead of trying to use fucking file. Because if file is going to be our actual path, then that works, but if file isn't the actual path, it doesn't work. No worky. Oh, shit. My bad, guys. So let's go down. Cannot pass type path as function as a function argument. Okay, well, you know what? I can always just remove that. Because I don't really need the size. Although it'd be cool to get the file size, it really isn't necessary. Oh, you know what it is? Path dot one of those three. I guess path dot the literal of file. Oh, fuck. Well, you know, I'm not rewriting this. Well, actually. Oh my god, man. This hurts me inside. Okay, we'll just get rid of all that. We don't need that. I know why it's not working, because that's just taking, it's trying to take the path, the entirety of the type path, which means basically the enumeration, and shove it into there as a function thing. But I don't need the length of the file. I don't need that anymore. That was something I was working with yesterday, but I'm not really going to need that, so let's just fail. Oh, I love when it fails. Wow. Delaying. Maybe it's just not. Probably needs a new line character at the end. Actually, no. Does it? Yeah, like delaying. Fail because let's go ahead and put in. Let's put another right ln, and we'll call it this dot args, so that way it writes out the full args for this. Is that what it's called? Yeah, this dot args. So, oh shit, my bad. Okay. Non-static, this dot args requires an instance of do thing. Oh, okay. But no, that can't work because then it's. Let's do that outside of here then. Actually, that's amazing. Let's use G shared next time. Okay, let me explain something. I think classes are really great for one thing, which really makes them stand alone, is that they can be used for like threads and stuff. That's one time I really thought about using them. I was like, this will make everything really clean, and they kind of do. If you're not using them as your main function like I am, I mean, like, what am I fucking doing? This is abnormal. This is inhumane, and I should have been stopped before I started, but I should have been stopped like 4 months ago when I started learning D-Lang. How long was it? Like 5 months ago now? 6 months? Bro, should have been stopped 6 months ago when I started. But now I'm here, where I kind of know a lot, but not enough yet to really do super exceptional things. Yet. But that's why I like to learn every stream, so I can learn stuff. I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to get back to the point. So we're just going to do, inside of this constructor, we're going to write the line for this.args. Before we do the do thing. Because the do thing just breaks. Write ln. And then this dot args 0. Because why not? All right, that will give me my debug, so I can see if it has a new line character. Although odds are it will just print that. I could also do a roll write, and we can just use a hex editor to do it. We could also do for each of this.arg 0, and we'll do for each chr, and for each character, I want to write out what that is in a ubyte. So we'll just write ln cast. No, we don't need to do constant ubyte. chr. Yeah, that will work, guys. I'm telling you, that will give me the raw information, so I can look at it and tell you if it's terrible and disgusting me. Oh right. help. And you can see it gives me all of the lines. 112, that looks like it would be the P. Probably. Because the new line character is like /10 or /20 or something. So why does it fail then? So if I do delaying, and then also wrote out delaying as... Okay, so yeah, they don't end in the same thing, so that just gives you the characters. It doesn't take the enter and put it into the end of this, which is really good. I didn't know that, so now that means bad though, because I didn't find the answer there. So where is it going wrong? Because switch file is based on file, so we'll just write line for file then too. And we also know that file is also a struct, or no, not a struct, also a array, so we could technically write that with all of its beauty as a thing as well. In fact, I'll just take this and slapticate that down there, and we'll do for each of the file, because that will allow me to figure it out pretty quick. Save, and for each of the file, just write it as a ubyte so I can look at it and see if it's right. Because I can read numbers into letters, because that's something I've worked with a lot. Sir, what do you do, or what you do for a living? Me, I just, yeah, I really can't answer that question. Man, why do people always ask me questions I can't really answer? Felt like... Damn. But yeah, I can't really talk about that. Anyway, we'll get back to what matters, which is that's not working still. My brain cells are racked, bro. They're tired. 3 a.m. and I'm programming before I have to go fry my brain for until 5 p.m. and then go and dumb stuff all day, bro. Anyway, I hope that answers your question in the most vague way possible. Because I really cannot discuss what I actually do. So, I mean... Write ln, cast ubyte, chr. This isn't really telling me much. What is the path, though? What path is it doing? It's just writing the fucking fail. So, it's writing the path.fail, which means it doesn't really tell me much. Like, the case is path.delaying. Oh. My brain cells are stupid. You know what I'm doing wrong is that I'm not putting... So I'm putting switch, and switch is based on file, and this is not how it works. We're passing delaying, right, into file, and the case says path.delaying, right? So delaying. You'd think, oh, if file is path.delaying, which delaying equals that, then do this. The problem is that doesn't work. So what we're going to do instead is try the colon anonymous method, which is like this, and see what that does. So I don't really need to worry about any of this stuff anymore, because I kind of understand why it's not working. So I don't need to really look at that, because I know that's going to work eventually. Probably. Lots of and probablys, because really, I have no idea. It might work today, it might work next month, might happen the second Tuesday next month, or the second Tuesday next week, who knows. Let's see, case, path, dot supporters, path dot supporters, break, continuing. So if we take that, then we can just say if it's, oh, but that doesn't work because these are basically to say that those are that. We need to set that back to path. So technically it could be an if statement, but that's not how it works either. How do I convert string file into one of these? I think you'd have to do like some kind of matching and stuff. Documentation, please. The D-Lang documentation is amazing. Wowie. Control F and look for enum. This is not really the documentation, this is the book though. Final switch statement. Enumeration, bro. Let's enumerate, my dudes. Enumeration. I like to enumerate a lot. Sometimes it's necessary to specify the actual type, the base type, as values as well. Okay, so type name, colon, base type. Okay. So yeah, if you had add, it'd be 1, subtract is 2, multiply is 3, and divide is 4. It's kind of like a container almost for, well, it is a container, but you declare multiple different things. Interesting stuff. But the real question is heads, tails, spades, hearts, diamonds. Okay, that makes sense. Then how do you really use this? If results equals that, god damn it, it's one of those. I can't use the. I guess it allows me to make it a little bit simpler because we still need. Okay, so we still need to have. We still pass file, right? So passing file just passes D-Lang into there, but the pass should be like case supporters, and then we can use path.supporters, and then we could use path.dlang, for example, for our file paths. It makes it simpler to look at the paths, but it really doesn't help us much, and kind of overcomplicates things. Although, I feel like it's great for maintaining ability. Like, I don't really think enumeration is something I'm going to use a whole lot, because it seems like something that would just waste memory. I feel like it's something that's a waste. That's my honest review for fucking this shit. The enumeration right here. Oh, this shit. Yeah. Switch is great. I love Switch. But otherwise, pretty much useless. I don't see the supporters. And there we go. So that will give us our paths. So let's go into here and run. Fuck. I'm sure there's some way I can make my code more and more high speed, bro. I want that, not high speed as in high performance, but I just want my code to look cool, bro. High speed code? Question mark. Is it real? Can high speed code exist? I don't think so. No such thing as high speed code on this side of the world. Just Rust. Alright, so now D-Lang. What? Okay. So it writes out path dot D-Lang, which means what exactly? Does that mean like what? So What does delang equal? What? All right, now let's go ahead and put in file.getSize. Well, and now I have to create a helper function for all of these, some kinds. Also, the code's fucking spaghetti. It's fucking spaghetti code season. And that can only mean one thing. I program spaghetti. I'm the spaghetti master right now. And I am soon to master the spaghetti. Alright, anyway. Static void. This is my static object-oriented spaghetti slot. It's really the cream of the crop for spaghetti. Absolutely disgusting to most people. We use the class constructor to run the code. It's my main area. Do thing.fact, and then fact string file. And then this one also passes a string. Some might say you don't really need this, but I say, well, if I don't know, if I have multiple statements that are going to use the same thing, I might as well make a thingamajig to do it all for me. And if I don't want to look disgusting in here, then we'll just have to do that. Call this fact. No, not fact. Call this fact underscore helper. And it's going to just take a string. This needs to be pre-installed bloatware for FishOS. Yes, it will be. It's going to be like God from Temple OS. But, you know, you can't really call God bloatware because God is God. We're going to take file, and so all this does is enumerates the fucking... maybe I should rename this one to do thing translate. Yep, that's what I'm calling it. Do thing dot trans. Keep going, bro. Yeah, I'm cooking, man. Instead, now this is gonna become yip yap. Well, do we want snake case or do we want the fucking whatever that language? I don't know what is this called, Haskell Perl case or something, bro. Those are languages I should check out. They're on my list to check out for their cool names, but they're probably absolute. I don't know actually. I might be able to get into them. Perl or Haskell. I might be able to get into this. Java's on my list now, bro. Java's on my list of languages to try. Anyway. This function will immediately afterwards call this function after it goes in this. So we'll just add a do thing dot yip underscore yap, and we're gonna put our string file in there. We're gonna put our, instead of doing that, we're just gonna put the path dot supporters in there. So yeah, we've got the great code going. Oh right, don't forget that's a capital T because this one's snake case. I should do snake case for my structs and classes. And then, here's the problem is that like with programming and naming things, now I have to think about what case I'm using because VLang taught me about using cases. And I'm like, there's a syntactically different way to do it, and like I've always just done lowercase first letter, and then if there's another word in there, do an uppercase on that. So I did snake case the entire time. Either way, these just create the do thing yip yap with the correct path, so that way it enumerates for you. I'm sure there's a greater way of doing this because this is terrible, but. Here's the thing, though. At least it's kind of scope guarded. Okay, I can kind of defend the scope guarding on this. Because as long as it's in that void trans, then when it sends it to yip yap, all it's got to do is, well, it's only going to have memory in this block, so I'm not too worried. And then anything that's in the fucking anything else that's static inside of this. Continuing down in my chain of madness, we're going to add some other shit. Let's see. So now we have to do stuff with it. So we're going to take string.file, we're going to do file, we're going to put that back in here. Import standard.file, and then we're going to do a get size. Also, that's not the correct formatting for that. This one is snake case. I guess that is the standard for methods or functions. Methods and functions, I guess. But in this case, I feel like it looks better to just put an underscore. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let's go ahead and put my get size. Technically, why would I do it up here? Because now I have a helper function that can do this for me. So cut that. And this will allow me to keep my functions that I'm using one time locally. So we're going to get the size, and we're going to be like, well, what's the size of the file? We're going to put the string file in there. Hopefully, that can pass in as a file, or as a string. And for now, we're just going to put write ln get size file, which should produce a string. Produces, I mean, it produces some output that I can print. Nice. That just works, bro. That gets me the dealing one, and then supporters. And then we can just have it choose a random line from the supporters file and print it out or something like that. Or select a random block of text to print out or stuff like that. So now we just gotta get the size of the file and be like, what can we do with it from there? Oh shit, you guys didn't see that. You guys didn't see anything. The NVIDIA gate. This is why I like having 6 wallpapers. It's pretty funny when I accidentally slip onto like this one and go, why is Arch Linux man in the background, bro? That's the future of humanity. All of humanity will be the Arch Linux man. Arch enjoyers, bro. Continuing on. Boom. Let's see. So we get the size of file. Really, I don't think I'm gonna mess with that much. I need to count the lines of it. But that's gonna be like counting lines. What am I doing with that? So we count the lines of file. How exactly are we gonna count the lines of file? That's good question I haven't thought of yet. So we probably do file. We open the file though. It's the first thing I know. Auto file. Create a scope guard first. Which is like probably not super useful, but can be useful in some cases. We'll eventually have a use for the get size file, but I don't have that use at this time, so it's kind of not super great. Backspace. Okay, we do that, and get size file. Continuing on. Auto file equals file. And then just put the file name. So file. And then go from there. And then put a comma and give it read access. That should be pretty good. And then we can put our scope. So I look all fancy and shit using a scope. Exit. Oh. File.close. Look at that, guys. Am I just goated or what? I'm using a scope exit here to close my file if something goes wrong. So that means if you exit the scope at any point besides hitting this last bracket, it will just close the file. So that's bro, I just hallucinated my alarm going off. I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, literally all you need is that. Okay, so file is shadowing variable jester.do thing yip yap file. Are you kidding me? God damn it. Why? Okay. Well, underscore file close. Or maybe we call this something else. O file. No, just put a fucking underscore like a decent human being, and then keep adding underscores for every time you add a name for file. Which technically that file is a struct. Use arch so hot. Yeah. Yeah. It's really nice, right? Look at all the rice I do. I don't think we're ricing this weekend, but maybe. Look at all of this rice, bro. I riced it so hard that I got fucking shaders in my file browser. 500 files. Yeah. Only good code on this channel. Alright, let's go ahead and save it. Actually, let's not save it. Let's go ahead and... Oh, we could add a compile time feature, so that way every time I add a new text file, it will just scan for text files in the data folder and find them all. And then put them in the enumeration. And then for when we open the file, let's do file.writeln, or for each line of file. For each file.eof, I think is what it is. Or maybe until end of file. Wait, how is it called again? Let me open up the documentation again. Well, the not documentation that I still use as documentation, because why not? File. This book is actually really good. If you need to learn D-Lang for some fucking reason, this book will be the ultimate guide. Good. Wowie. Wow. Okay. Well, not file.eof. Okay, cool, got it. Or you could do... Yeah, that's all your access. There's actually more accesses than this. You got, like, B and stuff. But that's for, like, super great stuff, like fucking binary stuff. You can do raw binary things with it. Like raw write, raw read. While not file dot... I guess I'm using a while loop like a lame person, bro. I don't like while loops because they're fucking lame in my opinion. I'm a lame guy, I'm using a while loop today. The while loop is lame. Can I use a for each loop for this? Please? Please give me for each loop next time, please. Thank you. Anyway, well, not file.eof. Then execute this. File.writeln. Boom. And then we'll start working on our random indexing feature and range selection. Well, actually, we'll just do range selection first. We already determined yesterday. We'll just use ulong and we'll assign that somehow to give it an endpoint, and then we'll subtract 24 lines to select the beginning. So this is going to be a number of lines, and I don't know why I used the fucking ulong, but I guess it works. Because it's never going to be negative. There's never going to be negative lines in a fucking PDF. So, or in a .text file. Are you sure there's no EOF? Oh, because I'm a Genghis, bro. I'm a Genghis. Today I am become Genghis, the destroyer of programs. Let me program it in the Linux kernel, and I will destroy it. No property EOF for file of type string. My brain cells have been damaged because I forgot. It's exclamation point underscore file. But that means that file still exists here, and after we use file to initialize file, let's go ahead and destroy that. Like, get rid of that. So, do a GC call and destroy the file name. Actually, can we use the regular calls? I think we could use a regular C function call and just call one of those into existence to just fucking get rid of that. Oh yeah, me, I am a good programmer. I will program the next Linux kernel. We'll call it Linux 2. Oh god. I have screwed up at this time. I don't know what I did wrong. Let me go ahead and check. While not file.eof, file.writeln. Jingus, bro. Wait a second. That's a thing? No, that can't be a thing. What? So instead of doing writeln Gordon in this case scenario, you can assign Gordon to a fucking like a string D equals Gordon. Let me see if this is actually a thing, because I never knew this. But d.writeln. Is this fucking real? Is this an actual thing? Like, what? That's a fucking... Bro, if that's real, no fucking... Wow. Wow. So, yeah, you can do that. Or... Or you just not do that. So while not file.eof, but then how is he doing it in the book? Because I'm really confused right now. Wow. Oh, wait, really? What? Help me, Gordon. Escape. You know what it is? We just... Hold on. 62. Still 62. Because it only has read access. So I didn't fuck up. I was like, did I just write 1,000 lines of Gordon into there? Bro, that'd be like literally Isaac Kleiner from Half-Life, bro. Isaac Kleiner. We just created the Isaac Kleiner file. Oh, the Kleiner files, bro. Anyway. Weird stuff discovered today that you can do. String.writeln. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't think I'm ever going to use that because that doesn't seem practical for anything. Unless you can do string.writeln and put like fucking other shit in there and have it also write that. Maybe, but I don't know what implications that would have. Probably not something I need. Just gonna be honest with you. Definitely not something I need. Oh. Let my spine explode for a couple seconds, real quick. Spinal. The spinal countdown. Oh, fuck. That's so cringe, bro. But this is supposed to be read-ln because I'm a fucking jackass. See, that's what I realized. Sorry, I'm getting distracted a lot today. But that's okay, because I'm learning a lot today. Nice. Good job. Bro. What? Hold on. And, for this one, we might have to have a case handling for this. Oh, because this one's gonna be like lines, isn't it? It's gonna be just choose a random line of this file and read it. Whereas the other ones, they're gonna be like pick a block of this file and then print it into the terminal. Because that's what Terry Davis did. He just picked a block of a file and then something like that. But he also loaded the whole file into memory first. He had this weird idea where he would just load files into memory and use all of his memory or something like that. I don't know. But he's smarter than I am, so like, what am I saying? So it finds the file, but then when it opens the file, it does, let's see, file dot, what am I looking at? Oh. If I said I don't know Linux, what advice would you give me to start with it? Use Linux Mint. Congratulations, you used Linux. If you use Linux Mint, you're using Linux. That's how you can get started. Linux Mint is easy. And then just work from there. Be like, oh yeah, well, maybe I want to try other distros. And then be like, let me see what else there is out there. I'll try Fedora. I'll try Kubuntu. But that's why I went. I went Kubuntu, Fedora, and then I settled on Arch because I'm like, bro, it actually works. Whereas the other two were just like exploding my computer. Yeah, just go with Linux Mint. Honestly, see what I don't like is when like people ask like what is it? I don't like when people ask like what distro should I use because that's a question that only you can answer and you have to kind of do the searching yourself. Like I didn't have anybody telling me to go use Arch or stuff like that. I didn't have anybody telling me to go use Linux Mint. Well, actually, my friend was like, yeah, you should go use Linux Mint. It's easy. That was where I got started, though. And then I ended up on Arch because I'm a weirdo. Wow, it's real. File.strip readln, which is from standard.string :strip, by the way. By the way, the file is a struct, by the way. Well, thanks. No problem. I hope I helped you. I genuinely hope I helped you, because I don't know. So these are file.write lines. So if you want to write lines to a file. And then there's also file.readln, which we should be writing the read line because file.readln does that. Underscore file dot readln semicolon. You know what? I guess it does make sense that you can try that. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Clearly, we're not getting anywhere with it on here. What? No, nothing. On scope, exit. File dot close. What if I have to do write ln, read ln? That doesn't seem like it's a thing. I swear that was not a thing before. Should just read it to the terminal. Save that. Let's see. Am I dumb? I've done this before. Let me just reference one of my other codes. Hold on. It's on my other system. Let's see. I guess, open desktop, DTools. I haven't done this for a while. What am I doing? Modulus for loop. DLua. What the hell was I making there? File.readeln. Where's that at? I guess I don't have that one anymore. I might not have it because, reasons. Hello World. Of course I have Hello World. That was amazing. Actually, doesn't Fish Runtime has it? No? What? Oh my gosh. Terminal GUI. Threading. Vibed. For loop. Man, I don't even... Oh, maybe that one. Yeah, that one's got it. Alright, let's open... You all can't even see what I'm doing. But, fishbitwise.d. Bro, that's such an unorganized program. I don't know how I wrote this shit. Because that's, like, so fucking unorganized. Fish64.d. Ah, there we go. Now I can see the horrible amount of code. Let's see. File.raw read or anything? Oh, it uses a struct, bro. It's fucking disgusting. A fucking struct. God damn, structs are cringe. Fetch 32 bits? Okay. So, like... Fish bitwise. There should be a function, then, called fetch32. Ah. Which opens a file. And it has a scope exit with file.close. And then... file.seek. Also, the underscore file probably isn't a good idea. I think that's probably what's fucking us over here. It's also got a return from bswap. Bswap? Bitswap? Okay, anyway. Guys. How am I gonna call this file? I'm gonna call it F. I'm gonna call it, F to pay respect. FLE. Fla. Gotta come up with a good name. What am I coding? Man, everybody asks me this. I'm starting to get tired of answering this question. But, basically we're gonna make a thing that's gonna open a file, and, it's gonna open a file, it's gonna do it in the worst way possible, and, what the fuck is wrong with this language? Oh, because I decided to use class and instead of main function. I'm creating the world's most fuck-ass class of all time. It literally will be the entire fucking program is the class. All you need to do is import this class and you have the entire program. Very nice, right? Anyway, I'm gonna just put F now because I can't really come up with a name, so my brain's hurting. And, you know, we're just gonna do F and see if that helps me figure it out. Why it's not working. Because I should just read the lines and print them out. Unless if you put X equals. We'll try that next, but that's fucking cringe if I have to do that. Alright, so it does that. But... maybe if it needs a for each until file that. I guess it could need that. Let's try for eaching it. Because then it won't have a, it'll just be like for each. Oh, maybe this is actually a way of doing that. File.readln and then put a write L and a new line character at the end. Well, actually, I don't know how to do it. We'll just put a fucking write L. Write ln L. Save it. For each aggregate of type bool. Oh, so that's a truth statement. Oh, I had no fucking clue. Bro, I really don't work with files much. Also, I say that about everything. Okay, so that makes sense. Because it would just be true or false. I guess we do a for. We could do a for statement and say that we have I. Actually, no, just do a while. Because what I think is happening is it's not reaching the end of the file because the first line of the file is the last line of the file. So would it read the last line of the file? Maybe I need to add last line. There we go. That's good enough for me. I think that's satisfactory. So maybe it only reads the first line, which makes no sense to me. But I don't even know. My brain cells are gone. Don't worry, guys. I'm okay. I've been neuralized at this time. Oh fuck. Huh. So does it need me to write ln? The file.readln. Is this the case? Let's see. Go back to here. Aha! So you do need to write the ln and read the ln. What a great thing. However, now we're going to implement random line selection for this one. This one in particular. So this is gonna be handled by a... So the supporters file is the only one that needs it, but it needs to just have us... we're probably just gonna put in like a... Let's go ahead and do that. Supporter. If supporters... What is it? Oh, God. I'll have to put the path, the full path this time. Unless I make this a, this dot. That would also be a local thing. But, I'm not gonna do that. That seems lame. Maybe I could pass a 1 or... You know what? We should just make this into... You know, it'd be a lot easier if this was just declared inside the class. I also don't know why I wanted to use a fucking class for this. I mean, I guess it was just because it was funny, but this is not funny. This is disgusting. This is slimy. This is not what a class is for. Classes are for inheritance, not fucking not being the entire main function. Classes are a reference type, not a function. Not a main function. I mean, I don't know what advantages there even is to this, really. I think you even load all of the functions and shit all into memory at once when you do this. When you call auto do thing, I think it might just load all of this into fucking memory. So it would have been better to program it functionally not dysfunctionally, where we just have a fucking class, bro. I'm dying right now. If y'all couldn't tell, this is killing me right now. This is actually terrible. The worst software design in history. Yet I know it's so bad, and I don't really want to change anything because it looks cool. I'm using the class, so I can tell my Java friends to suck it because I used the class for once instead of using functions for everything. Yeah, I can justify it, right? You guys understand? Like, you guys also probably program, and you guys also probably have one friend who does Java programming. So now you can be like, ah, yes. One time I've seen a guy who just programs a worse class than you, and his class is literally the entire main function. Do thing replaces main. Do thing supplement main. Yes. Hi. Hello. Welcome to seeing my fuck-ass program. Actually, do thing. I might change the name to auto. Equals new do thing. I have IRL friends. Yeah, me too. And one of my IRL friends wants to learn Python and Java. He's going to take Java as a college course, and I told him, Java's hard, bro. Why would you do that? And he said, because listicles say that I should take Java or some shit. Because it will get me jobs, and they only want people who know Java. And I was like, okay. Whatever universe you live in, when Rust is the new craze, bro. See, I would put him on that Rust bandwagon, but I completely forgot about it because it eluded my mind. He was like, Python and Java are the things that people want. I'm like, okay. And I'm pretty sure they don't teach Rust in colleges because Rust is so fucking cringe. Why would they do that? But correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody knows. And probably nowadays they do. So I'm just saying. It's like how Java was cringe when Java was new. So maybe Rust will become less cringe, but to be honest, I don't know. Alright, so we're going to create a random number that gets created before this. So before we do thing.trans, we need to create a number. And for that, I'm going to go and use standard.random, which we had it yesterday, which was like Mercine Twister 19937 or something like that. So let's go ahead and do that. So, brain cells. Brainial and sanitosis. I think I have standard.random right here. We might not even use the Mercine Twister for this because there is a random range. So the rand gen can be a random range between that and that. But we need to get the number of lines in the file first. So when the file is loading, we just gotta run this. So while not file.eof, and instead of writing the line, we're gonna create a counter of file.length inside of a scope here, inside of yet another scope guard. So we don't even need to get the file size, but anyway, I have that just in case. So while not EOF, we are going to increment. We're going to take the file length and divide it by I guess we could take like the amount of characters in the first file or the first line of file and use that to determine the rest of them, and then do that's too much quantum mechanics. No quantum mechanics because less moving parts. Less moving parts is the future, says the Arch Linux enjoyers, like this guy in the background. But I really don't know yet. Because we could just take a length and go, oh, well, if we know it's not that long, we don't have to do from whatever, from the top to the... There's just so many ways you could do this. But also, because there's so many ways, it means I have to choose which way I'm going to do it. Which I hate making choices, obviously, because I like to program, and if I hate making choices, that's just standard for me. Hate choices. Ugh. Imagine the shiny flaws of Python, and then write the whole WM with it. That's QT aisle. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, that shit... Actually... Is that, like, related to QT? Like, But yeah, I know what you're talking about. QT aisle. Is that related to QT? Anyway, there's a really easy one in here. It's called, like... Dice. No. We don't need dice. We need random. Random. Singleton instance of the default generator. So you can do randgen. So you import standard.random and randgen. And then it gives you a number. Let's go ahead and do that first. We'll put the import probably inside this scope. Just so it looks even more terrible. Import standard.random colon RND. Yeah, give me random, please. Sudo, please give me random in my new fuck-ass import. Yet again, more terrible randomness. So rnd.take 3. Oh. What the hell is standard.range take? What? Anyway, we'll have to look at what standard.range take is. What's this one? The Mandelbrot thingy? Get rid of that garbage. Go back up to the top. This is all file stuff, which is lame and useless to me. Google search failed on Tor, but it will work on Brave browser. Although I don't want them backdooring my network, so we're not going to use Google. Because Google is cringe. That's right, guys. Google is cringe. I'm pretty sure everybody agrees with me. Think Microsoft. Yeah. Think Billy Gates. Wait, is this the one I needed? Standard.range, though. It was like standard.range and take. Hardware? Whoa. Contains hardware support for floating point numbers. Wow. Amazing. Of the CEPHES library to D. I don't know what that is, but that's cool. Binary heap. Provides a binary heap. A priority queue adapter. Whoa. Makes me like think of Java with heap and stack. I like my heap and my stack, bro. Or actually, OS Dev Wiki likes heap and stack. Random? Random, bro. Ranges, right? Range. Oh, yeah, good. Standard.range primitives chain. No. Why is it all like this? What? Who decided to write documentation that looks like this? Lazily takes only one elements of a range when using infinite ranges. What? Infinite ranges? Oh, okay, so they're just taking the third one of that. What? What the hell is standard.take for then? You could just do that by specifying an index. I'm gonna be on... Oh, wait. Random.take 3.sum. That's for dice, right? or random dot. Man. This is this is what? What is this? Why would you need center.tank? Take that 3, that's some. Anyway. We need to get the Mercine Twister to give us a range. Also, what the hell are these? Like, unsigned 42 billion bit? Or long units? Or like 32 LU? That sounds familiar. The default favorite suggested random number generator type on the current platform. It is an alias for one of the previously defined generators. You may want to use it if you need to generate some nice random numbers and you don't care for a minutia of the method being used. Oh, wow. Nice. So if I don't really care what I'm gonna do, then go ahead and use any of them. Just fucking shovel it in there. But it says Mercine Twister engine, and I'm guessing it's just randomly doing those. I don't know. So that's how you would do that. So you'd do random, unpredicted seed, and then... But you could swap that with MT19937, and that gives you the same thing. My problem is I want to select between two numbers, right? So I want to have like a range almost. So like I want, let's go ahead and say, oh, actually we could just be like, let's take the last number, right? So that number, the end number, is going to be generated. It's going to be the last something. It's going to be like a last samurai or something like that. Oh, my brain's frying. It's overloaded at this time. So the end thing is going to be local into that one. Please don't delete everything. I don't dare use that keyboard, guys. Scrolling all the way down. Alright, so while not file end of line, we're going to go ahead and create our end. Or actually, ulong file size wowie. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and get rid of this, because I certainly don't need that slop in my program. And this awesome code is slowly becoming and steadily becoming way more awesome as I add more and more lines to it. Eventually I'll hit 1 billion lines like the Linux kernel, and I'll say my code is awesome because I have 1 billion lines. Because more lines must be more good or something. It's not that, you know. Anyway, I can't really talk shit on the Linux kernel because I use Linux every day, and I also don't create my own own kernel to be able to fight with the Linux kernel. So, I mean, I have no foot to stand on there. 1 million lines could be completely justified, but I'm not in that space, so... Anyway, fill size. Also, where's my semicolon? Please. Sudo please semicolon. Fill size. Yes, this one the fill size here is approximately 30 liters. Potentially. Potentially might be 30 liters. Could be. I'm not sure though. Might want to check that. Let's go ahead and... So we create file size. Why would I do it here? Oh, because that makes sense. Shut up, brain. What are you questioning, brain? Let's go ahead and so for each of those, plus file size. I was thinking about some quantum mechanics, right? So if the file dot length is really big, then go ahead and increment it by like 5 lines. And as you get closer to the end, decrease it. But no, that's not gonna work because you have to get the file size by doing each line, and then we're gonna just at the end of that we're gonna just write the line for file size. Write ln file size, but make sure to put it inside of these because that would be kind of lame of me not to do that. Coolio, good job. Yeah. Import random not found. Randy, why are you not finding random? Randy random, bro. Actually, we're gonna import MT19937. Should be the correct spelling of that. I'm pretty sure it is a struct or class of some kind. Yep. Wowie. Oh, it stopped. Oh god. How did it go wrong? Let's see. Write ln file while not end the file. Write ln file size. And then file.read. Do we really need to have a fucking file.readln? It should be counting up. Oh, maybe we could just do well. Oh, wait a second. File size is, or EOF is actually our size. Let's see. I should probably put a, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a write ln for the file.eof. Let's go ahead and finish this part first. Write ln file f.eof. Because I'm guessing... Oh wait, that's a true... That thing is true or false. It's not a size. That just means you reach the end of the file. But how does it know when it's true? That's like the real question. And technically, isn't this supposed to have the closing parameters on it? I'm not really entirely sure. 1. I mean, I guess it works now. Alright, I mean... Well, this would be true, so of course it's just writing fucking 1. So while does not equal file.eof. Try that again. Zero. Supporters 0. Wow. Okay, maybe I'm dumb. But shouldn't it have worked with the file.eof? So while not true, plus file size. And does it really need me to write the fucking lines out? f.write.ln. Maybe I should look at the deeper code and be like, oh yes, that's interesting. What? God damn it. Read ln, please. Sudo, please read ln. What? Oh, you know what I did wrong? I forgot this thingamajib. Not that thingamajib. What the fuck is? What are we trying to delimit today? The entire string will be delimited, guys. Last line. Last line semicolon 2. I dislike when others shit my pants for me. Sorry, I don't think I should read it in that voice. That might be funny, but to be honest, that did not work out the way I expected. Because I don't want it to write the lines. We don't need it to write the lines. In fact, we want it to just add every size. We just want to keep adding size until file.readln is the last one. But what if file.readln is more than just readln? What's going on here that it means it reaches the last line of the file? Because when I do ++ file size, you will see that all it does is just fucking run forever. We can't have that. So, how does it know when it's done reading the file then? I'm guessing it does a file.raw read and be like, well, is there no more bytes? I could just use assembly to do it. Ah, yes. Am I gonna use assembly to attempt to read a file? No, because I don't know how I would go about using assembly to fucking read a file. But that would be a funny idea. I totally could put inline 86 here and probably try to figure out when I reach the end. But that's for like, I learned how to make a print ln or write ln. So, well, not file read ln or file that, and then just keep adding ++ file size, and how does it keep track of that? What is the file struct in dlang even looking like? Take me to the file things again. It should be in standard.standard.io. It's like literally the standard input output stream. The most basics. So read ln. Lines. Iterate through the lines of a file by using a for each. Brains. Okay. For each line, you do an increment. You add a plus. Technically, you could do for each line, lines, and then write ln, or something like that. It's a struct called lines, by the way. Oh, wow. Wowie. Lines, standard input. String line. So, I think we just put we need to probably include that in here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, element of P, line. Nice. Nice. Good job. Yeah, totally. Totally, dude. Lines. So, that's a replacement for EOF, right? Wowie. Nice. Nice. Wait. Same as formatted read. Okay. I am a certified genius. No, not really. Anyway, yeah, replace that with a for each, because I said so. For each, and then line. For each I of the fucking file, which is file or line. I think you just put in F. Lines F. What great naming. I and F now. Wow, we are really stooping to that low level of naming shit in the most cringe way possible. I'm guessing that's something they initialize. Probably a file. I'm pretty sure they do that. That's what they call it. Anyway, lines of file, and then we'll just... For each I of lines of file, you will plus the file size. And then we can get our number to use for magic reasons, which will be described at a later date. Also, since this is inside of a scope, we're going to put that there. And since this is all happening in steps, we are going to do it correctly. So file size is going to be used and passed off eventually. So it's going to be opened, well, in here, and then it's going to close to be handed off in another one. So it literally just opens in here, and then it's... How do you... So we need to create file size, so we're going to create it here. Then we're going to do all of this stuff to... maybe I don't need to put all that in there, but I could have left it in the... who cares? Actually, I do kind of care, so I'm good to put it back. I'm so sorry. All of this moving things back and forth is such a waste of valuable, precious time, but we need to make sure that it looks pretty to the standard and makes sense. Okay, so we have file, and we're doing ++ file size. I think it will work. Fingers crossed it works. It's not like it matters. Fuck! Perhaps said it explicitly. Cannot infer type. Cringenium. For each int I ++ file size. And do it fast. So that's how you iterate your files. Fuck. God damn it. Anyway, I guess we have to do string. I really don't want to initialize a string, but I'm gonna have to, guys. And you know why? Because I hate string. So, string is massive bytes. We're throwing massive bytes into my RAM, my valuable, precious RAM. And I do not want to throw massive bytes in there. Supporters, 2. There was 2 lines. However, is that actually the number of lines? Beep, 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 beep. Do 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 do. Let's go ahead and run it again. 3 lines. Wow, I got 3 lines in there. Nice. Good job. Good job, me. Alright, so if it determines the amount of lines we have, then all we have to do now is go ahead and print out the lines. And this is pretty much the standard template for what we needed. So we create our ulong for file size, and it gives us that. Then we need to... Actually, I should put these on the outside. I'm so sorry. All this back and forth. But I realized why I was thinking that I need to put it on the outside, and I've realized, yes, I need to put it on the outside. Reason being is because if we keep it on the inside, then when I don't need this anymore, I'm going to literally just use the scope guard as an uninitialization for my ulong file size. I don't want ulong file size. I don't want that. So I'm just going to do file size. And here, we're going to get rid of file size as soon as we hit the end. Should be pretty easy. So we have ulong file size, and we'll just run through that. We do a for each loop. Strings I, lines F, and then we just do ++ file size. Increasing our file size. That gives us our end number, right? So if our end number is 3, then we can do up to 3 random lines if we wanted to do random lines. Obviously, these gotta contain a little bit more than just... I guess we could do a struct and enumerate a struct in here, which is kind of even more cringe. But for now, we'll just put in these. These are just going to stay there. I guess I could enumerate a struct, but that is absolutely the most disgusting thing you can do. Having an enumeration for all of that is bad enough. Let alone having enumeration for fucking structs. That would be like double It'd be like double memory, bro. That'd be like disgusting. Cringe memory usage. So an enumeration of structs is a funny idea, but let's not do that. String I, lines F, and then plus plus file size, and it's just going to go through and do plus plus file size. And once it gets to the end, it's going to write the line for file size. But we need to figure out what number we can we do random number, or what, how to do random number next. So we'll take our file size, that's going to be our upper limit for how large our random number we can generate is going to be. And then from there, I just need to read about how you generate random numbers. We got XOR shifts, we got a bunch of stuff available. You got RANDs, linear congruence, with well-chosen parameters, implements Park and Miller's minimal standard generator that uses 16807 for the multiplier. Implements a variant that has slightly better spectral behavior by using multiplier 48271. So here they do auto R&D. This is the, I don't know. These are probably like, these are like structs in classes. Mercine Twister Generator is a pseudo-random number generator developed in 1997 by Makoto Matsumoto. Very nice. And Takuji Nishimura. Wow. Funny names. Funny block characters too. That just means I don't have the fucking characters installed for that. But I never thought I would run into fucking Japanese letters and shit. I'm not even sure what they're called. Japanese symbols. And then this is the type of math that hurts your brain cells, so you don't even want to look at it, but you're like, X comma 1 is less than or equal to M is less than N. Good God. This hurts my brain cells. Brain cells? Like, what? Brains? Ow. Cells gone. How much do I need to compute? Yeah, that's great, guys. Wow. Whoa. Uint min, uint max, default seed. Gives 2 starting points. The lowest that allow RNG to be started at advances the generator. Always always false. Enum bool empty. Empty is always false. That's fucking hilarious. Ah, yes. Pretty much aliasing for my variables is enumerating. I didn't expect we would enum so hard today, but we did. MERS instantiated with the parameters of the original MT19937, generating uniformly distributed 32-bit numbers with a period of 2 and a lower. Okay. The direction of shift positive means left. This is XOR shift. XOR shift, if you want to have a funny name for it. So I don't really know how you generate a number between 2 values, but I mean, I guess you could generate a number between. Anyway, so regardless of the file, we're gonna count the lines, so I can get a file that end line. We know that much. We know I'm gonna count the lines, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put an if statement, which is gonna be to handle whether or not it's if it's a. Oh, and we might need to actually. Has it been compiled since I moved that out? But, let's see. Actually, let's see if that works. So this is the void trans, and static void trans or whatever. And this is the enum path, and it does stuff. Great summary. My brains are frying. That compiles, that runs, and it gives you a number of those. And so we're gonna go ahead and say if the size of it is, bro, I hate if statements, bro, they kill me inside. We should probably just do a switch, but I'm also checking multiple things. Maybe we'll be setting multiple things. If size, if file size actually is less than 24, then is not less than 20, or is not less than 24. That'd be to say that if this file size is not, or actually, we don't need to do that. Why would I put a not there? If it's less than 24, don't even bother trying. It's not less than, does not equal that. If it does not equal 24, then do the other stuff. That's what I want. Okay. Brain cells are kicking in. Brain cells are in this year. So brain cells are so in, guys. File size does not equal 24, then do that block. Else, if... I mean, the first thing it should check is the path. So if... And do we uninitialize file? No, we still have file in there. If file equals path, path dot, what was it? Supporters. Let's see if I can even do that. I don't know if that works, but I hope it does. And then, write ln, yes. Just to see that it works. Just to prove myself that it works. Yes, okay. Cool. So it enters here and it writes the yes line. Else, and then it will just do everything else. So it only needs one if statement, and then the else will be... Actually, the else if, because we need to have an else if to handle... Yeah, that would... If the file size is, or does not equal, or is less than 24, then don't just select a random index and grab 24 lines from it. Here's the problem, is that if we just grab 24 lines from the end to the beginning, that doesn't work. But if you select a start point and increment your way up to the end point, that will work. We just need to be able to handle any exceptions of where the actual output would be, regardless, that's fine. Cool. I mean, I guess I don't even really need that. I don't think I need that at all. Else, do that. But if it is path.supporters, just create a random number now. So the random thing is going to be outside of the scope. And so the way that's going to work is we're just going to initialize random here. Rand equals, or ulong rand. Actually, it doesn't even need to be that. It can be a u short, and it will still work because a u short should have enough length to not have problems of pages of a book. Anyway, u short, and then we'll just do our length. Rand. And then we'll scope guard it. we'll scope guard the whole thing, man. I'm scope guarding so hard. Because that allows me to put this on the outside and then still grab the file or the actual random generation. Because we only need, think about it, we only need to use this for this portion, so why would I need it anywhere else? So it does not make sense to have it anywhere else. This then means I can just use rand to pull out that number, and so we're gonna just say rand equals, and then align 1 through 3, or 1 through to the length. So we need to choose a length. Random sample. What do these run? Oh, wow. Minced rand? Minced rand? What? Oh, do I love my minced random. The shuffled random, I guess that is just shuffled random access range. I don't actually know. Random isn't really a great library. It's hard to find information in here. I wonder if this has an example. Rand. Uniform 1 to 100. He's choosing a range, but he's choosing between those two. Brain power activated. Go back to standard.random. We'll just select a range. So uniform 0, 1, and then there's uniform 0, 1 offers faster variates of random variates of a. Oh, okay. So yeah, for the viewers, for viewer or supporter recommended stuff, we'll have it in here, and we'll just do rand equals, and we'll use uniform instead of rand, the Mercian twister engine. I didn't even know you could technically do that. I'm pretty sure uniform is also a struct. It should literally just be a struct called uniform. No, actually it isn't. Yeah, we can just literally import it as a uniform between A and B. Perfect. Between 0 and length. So this is the easiest one we can do. So for dmd gesture.t, get that queued up, because we're going to have to compile it again soon. Rand equals uniform and do 1 comma file size. And then boom. Now we go back to our for each loop type of thing. So if the size is 1, then obviously it's cool. We probably will put a switch here to, or maybe for now that's going to be all it's going to do. It's going to just be like if file path supporters, else write ln to do, and then continue on downwards. And now we have our uShort random initialized because of this. So this scope initialize rem. Scope initialize rem. Cool. So all I have to do now is use rand to find my file. But also we probably want file size. Technically ulong for file size is wrong too. That should be a uShort. Because there's no reason it should be that. Should not be anything but a uShort. So that's all I need for that. Now I am just gonna need to do one last thing before I can say that we've finished today's episode. It's gonna be literally just seeing what it does with the file and if it works. Which I forgot how to do that. God damn it. But we're gonna do a for each, and we're gonna do string I and semicolon lines of f, and do that, and then we're gonna just write at ln file dot read ln. However, that's not correct because it needs to go inside of another function. If statement. Correct. Amogus. If statement, if we are at the file.readln, which is rand. Actually, and then comma string line. Oh, hey, we don't even need to do file.readln. We can just do ln and this. God damn it. Put in line. Alright, there we go. For each line, and then we'll use I to determine if I equals rand write ln line. So that's the other portion of that. I'm pretty sure we're going to end up putting this in there because there's no reason to pass it out of there. We might even reduce the amount of scope guards even. And actually, I'm going to do that now to make this code actually better, since I don't really want to have all of that going on. So reduce that to dust, and then we'll figure out the rest of this from here. Should just be removing one of those. Actually, replace that one. That one I'm pretty sure goes in there. Where I'm removing every line. What am I doing? Amogus. That's what I'm doing. Alright, there we go. I am great at keyboard skills. There we go. That should make everything a lot better. I'm initializing my ushort file size in my rand, and I am now ready to go dmd-jester.d. Cannot implicitly convert uniform file size to type int and ushort. Fuck. Okay. For each int, please let me initialize a fucking integer in that. Otherwise, it's cringe. Actually, why did I do lines? We just gotta do rand. Actually, no, I know why I do lines. Because if I do lines, right, here's the advantage. All I have to do is write line in here, in the code. Although, if I did rand, it'd be way simpler. If this doesn't work, we'll try rand. All I really need to do is put rand, and if it reaches that, technically this should be a long. So, yeah? Unidentified for rand. What do you mean rand is unidentified? I literally define it. Uniform 1. Alright, that one's easy to solve as well. Probably just need to cast it to a fucking ushort. Ushort 1. I hope that doesn't need me to cast, because otherwise I'm gonna be annoyed. Amogus. Amogus! Amogus pogus. Oh god. Random. So rand. Where's rand? Why is rand? Oh, you know why? Because this needs to go here. Boom. Got him. Nice. Tab, 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 backspace, enter, enter, tab, nice. Boom, looks good. Should only be one of these. Fuck. And now syntaxing kills me. Found when expecting a semicolon after expression. Yep, so it needs to be cast. Unless I do ushort 1. I hope that's a way of defining the value as that. C-style cast. Oh man. Damn, bro. I wish I could use a C-style cast, bro. Alright, cool. /jester. How many times did I attempt to compile? 3? But it won't write the third line. What's the rand? And if it's correct, write rand. I want to know what rand becomes. Randy random, bro. Okay. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Bobby Amogus. Amogus Bobby. Cool. So we have... It only wants to do 2 and 1. I don't see any 3s in there. Anybody see any 3s in that? I don't see any 3s in there. So it doesn't want 3s, but it wants to do 2 and 1. So, I mean, I guess, why isn't it writing the line called line from lines of F? I mean, I guess, really, what I should be doing is the other technique that we prescribed in the great idea I had. So this technique, we're going to take this, and we're just going to go all the way to rand, which completely negates the need for one of these. Essentially, all I have to do is that. And then also, we might want to add a Boolean check. That will be a tomorrow problem, though. Or a later today problem, if I have time today. I gotta figure out what I'm doing besides this today. Or, not really besides this, but... Why does this look weird? That should be there. That should be there. Why is this one all the way down here when it needs to be up there? And... where's that one's? It's there? So, where's that one? See, that's kind of an issue. Because that one has the end bracket. This one got no end bracket. What the fuck's going on here? How do we screw up? You give it an end bracket. See the end bracket here. I don't know where we messed that up at, but okay. I'm sure somebody knows. And anyway, rand of type ushort. So what you would do is instead you'd go 0 to ... rand. That means basically it will, on the last one, if I equals rand, do that. And so that means that's our end line basically. However, file.readln needs to also be synchronized with that. And so the entire time, let's run file.readln and hope and pray that this is the correct way to do it. Because technically we don't have EOF to help us. We'll figure that out at a later... Well, EOF doesn't work anyway. EOF is like the fucking slog. So I choose that, choose this. And I think it's all good. I think that's all I need to do. I think I'm missing something though. So I equals rand, so it's doing a check there. So when I equals, it's not really an if, it's when. Anyway, when I equals rand, that's going to happen. So we know it's going to happen at some point. It will hit that, and then write that line. Otherwise, just do nothing with that. And then, I guess, cast void. Technically, you can do that. Aggregate rand of type ushort. Oh, right. That's the other thing I had to fix. I had to do 0 to ... rand. Because it needs a range. So it needs that. 0 to ... is a range, basically. Or a slice. Of type string. What? File. Oh, you know what it is? It needs f.readln. I'm getting confused because usually I call my files that... I call them a file, not an f.readln. That should compile. /jester. Index 0 is out of... Oh, right. Supporters. And it doesn't really do it. I'm going to have to fix this later today. I'm going to end today's episode here because I'm out of time. I got to do stuff so I can get ready for today. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.